The DOJ and Pam Bondi ready to make their next move as a federal judge dismisses the criminal indictments against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James, saying that the prosecutor was not legally appointed.
We'll be taking all available legal action, including an immediate appeal, to hold Letitia James and James Comey accountable for their unlawful conduct. We have made Lindsay Halligan a special U.S. attorney, so she is in court. She can fight in court just like she was, and we believe we will be successful on appeal.
Republican political strategist and lawyer Katie Zachariah joins me now to discuss. Katie, how can the DOJ fix this?
Well, thanks, Todd, and good morning. Look, we're looking at a situation where you have 28 United States Code Section 546 that applies in this situation, and the language is clear. The U.S. Attorney under the Attorney General under Section A can appoint a U.S. Attorney, as Pam Bondi did, and with Lindsay Halligan. And the district court is trying to argue this very vague language under Section D of the 28 United States Code that the district court should have appointed a judge rather than Pam Bondi, but it's vague. It says the district court may appoint a U.S. attorney in the absence of, the attorney general doing so. Todd, this judge is Judge Curry. A Clinton judge is trying to run the clock on statute of limitations, protect Comey and James, and I think Pam Bondi will succeed on appeal.
Even if Pam Bondi and the DOJ win on appeal, the time for bringing a case against Comey is way past. The Department of Justice waited to the very last minute to bring a case. So how do you overcome that challenge and refile against Comey?
Well, it was dismissed without prejudice, and there's going to be an opportunity to cure this, right, Todd? So either the DOJ is going to be able to argue that Lindsay Halligan is effectively there, or they're going to perhaps get a U.S. attorney that can sign off on this and be legitimate. I think there are a number of avenues that can go down. The argument that is, I think, more clear is that the language is vague, and the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, did follow procedure and appoint a U.S. attorney. And look, isn't it nice that they're arguing that Comey and James get this nice due process and procedural protection that was not afforded to President Trump? And all of a sudden now they're claiming fairness and due process. Todd, it's very difficult to watch the weaponized system continue to protect these people.
Yeah, it's such a great point, because a due process only applies to Democrats and illegal immigrants, who technically don't get full due process afforded citizens. But when it comes to Republicans, of course, no due process afforded. As for Letitia James, she released a statement saying the following, quote, "I am heartened by today's victory and grateful for the prayers and support I've received. I remain fearless in the face of these baseless charges as I continue fighting for New Yorkers every single day." When it comes to her case, should the DOJ go through with an appeal that could drag on and on and on? Or should they just say, we'll start over with regard to James, refile the case, different attorney, because there's no statute of limitations issues with regard to her case? Your thoughts?
Well, I would first go the initial avenue that Attorney General Pam Bondi is going, which is appeal both, and then maybe bifurcate them or separate them and go after Letitia James separately. However, I think right now the argument still stands that the ambiguity exists in Section D of the United States Code in 28 U.S.C. 546. So I think that she goes forward and argues legitimate appointment. Lindsay Halligan should be there, and she has the right to be in this court and fight this case.